First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
This podcast is sponsored by Ramp. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/easy. Ramp.com/easy. RAMP.com/easy.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
County Executive Anthony Picente on the line right now.
And I'll just say we talked about this about a week or so ago. We were clamoring for we need a vaccine, and I thought this would be a great intro to Tony. This came from Nagel. Man in the path of a hurricane, God will protect me. Man to his neighbor on a boat, God will protect me. Man on the roof of the helicopter, to the helicopter pilot, God will protect me. Man at the pearly gates, why didn't God protect me? God, I sent you a weather forecast, a boat, and a helicopter. What more do you want me to do? I mean, we've got this vaccine here.
I'm a county executive. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, we've been using that. We've been using that joke all along. And we've been specifically saying that. I mean, that is the lifeline. You know, I walked in our office, and we have a remote board on the 10th floor, and it's got different notices. And one of the notices that we put out like months ago was, just a graphic. It's really just a little mini billboard. Is like, vaccines are the new masks. And I looked at that yesterday and thought, that's what it was supposed to be. And, here we are with masks again because people are not getting the vaccine. So
I am so angry at arguing with people about this. I don't argue with them anymore. I'm like, all right, go die. That's how I feel. You want to go die? Go die. Do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to spend any more time trying to convince people. And here's how the thing that bothers me most is this is all about the good of not just yourself and not just your family, but the entire community, our population. And all you have to do now, once again, is look to Texas, look to Florida, look to Louisiana, where hospitals are being overrun. They can't handle emergency room, a guy in a motorcycle accident. They can't handle that because they have so many COVID patients. That's what this is all about. How is it that after a year and a half now, we don't understand that? A certain population doesn't understand that. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, and look, you're exactly right in so many in so many ways, and not differently. But we're a kind of I don't want to use the complete term hypochondriac society, but we go to doctors for everything, right?
Right.
And everything we go for, and we're always looking for the magic pill or the magic dosage of whether it's an allergy to a sore arm or leg or whatever it is, or an antacid or whatever we're looking for. But to be even further, more strength than over the counter, I guess is my point.
Yep.
Yet here we have a virus that has just crippled the entire world, and nobody wants to take. And there's not nobody. I shouldn't say that.
There's a large number.
There's a large, but there's still a large percentage of people when you look at the numbers across the country, in particular, and even across this state, that do not want to get this vaccine. And it baffles me. It really does. I guess like everybody that's been, at the forefront, and whether you've been dealing with it or not the way we have, you still have to question what's, why. But we'll keep trying.
I watched a promo from on television that was that used your voice and took a comment that you made out of context. So you feel that children, there's no There's no risk at all to anyone with children when it comes to schools with the virus, because that's what was that quote that was taken by you, and I know where it came from, is you saying there's no evidence that the young children are dying from this virus. And while that was true, it probably still is true today, even though the Delta variant seems to be more dangerous. But there's also a reason why people should be wearing masks. So instead of taking it out of context, like this was done inappropriately, in my opinion, can you explain why, if you believe that, you put a mask recommendation in for schools and followed the CDC guidelines yesterday?
I did, because I really do believe, because we still know that there are a great many adults, and that includes teachers and staff in schools that are not vaccinated, that, do present that risk, and the other piece is that, even though, the infection rate is low, the, severity is low, the point of getting kids back in school, if in cases where someone does have a breakout in the classroom, we've got to shut things down again. And, that's not what, we really need. These kids need to be back in school. And I think we need to do whatever we can to keep them safe, number one, and number two, in school. And that's the second goal. And I think wearing masks completely does that, until such a time that, and whether or not, vaccines are expanded to younger age. And then we got to fight that battle with different parents again, in terms of that, because you got parents that don't want them to wear masks. So where are they going to go when it says that they're eligible for the vaccine? So,
right.
But for the meantime, that's what we've got to do. And I stand by that. And, it's for those two first steps.
Yeah. Well, and, again, looking at just what evidence that we have out there in the last year. When was the last time you had a cold? In the last year, when was while wearing a mask? In the last year, right. When was the last time you had the flu? We went through a year without anybody getting sick, it seemed, other than those that caught this virus. That mask effort and any social distancing that we did, there's no doubt, whether we want to do it going forward, we can debate that, but there's no doubt it stopped the spread of a lot of virus, it seemed.
Well, a lot of things stopped the spread. The conscious awareness of it. The distancing, the hygiene, the washing of hands, things that you should be doing. In flu season anyway. We always talked about that. Over the years that I've been, we've been dealing with the flu, and and when that spread, that you should do. So those things were, are things that have kept people healthy, and so you go back to that and say, okay, look what changes, or look what difference those things have made in general, and yet you still got this virus that if people would just get the vaccine, we could bring that rate down even further.
There's a story that came out of Florida yesterday. In Broward County, 4 teachers died in a 24-hour period. 3 were not vaccinated. 1 was vaccinated. 4 healthy teachers died of COVID-19 in 24 hours in Broward County, Florida. Crazy, right? Monaski,
absolutely crazy.
We can switch gears just a little bit. I don't want to be preachy, but all I'm asking is just look at the evidence and the data that is out there, the stuff that's right before your very eyes. It's just common sense, I hate to say.
So, Tony, I want to ask you about Nexus. Real quick, though, comment just came in from Roger. When the booster becomes available, are you guys going to do pods again?
We are. In fact, we are definitely, we started planning already.
Okay.
Even without having them in hand, or at least the specifics, we are already looking at the calendar, the 8-month period, looking at the numbers of people that have been vaccinated, in that time period, so that we can begin as soon as things get cycled, we can ramp up again. So no, we're absolutely gearing up for that,
and that's coming.
That is coming, yeah. There's no
month,
question that's coming.
Right. And then quickly, there's an update on Nexus, right? Did you guys? What is the update?
We kind of finally got to a resolution, in terms of the financing package that needs to be done to get the project back up and running. The Board of Legislators, the Audit Authority passed it last week, I think last Wednesday, I think it was, and the board held a special meeting on Monday evening, the Board of Legislators to pass it as well. We're moving forward. We have, bond calls today. And, Huber Brewer removed the lawsuit that was brought up against, both the county and the Audit Authority, and so we're going to get them caught up on payments over the next several days. And hopefully I know we've been pushing this date along, but they can get going. I mean, they can literally get going.
Do you know when they start construction again?
I don't. I got to talk to, we're going to talk to Huber Brewer, Andy Brewer and team later today and see because like I said, we've got to get some payments over to them, relative to this. And, and even with the bonding kind of, a few weeks away, we could still start up this project. So we'll have a better idea what that is, what that's like, hopefully later today. And,
right.
But we're not at the, next week or 2 weeks. I mean, we're literally, we've come to agreement. We're ready to move forward. So all systems are go. It's just a matter of when we can get the contractor back on site.
All right. I would say that's big news.
It is. It's a long time coming. I want to thank, the legislators, certainly, and the Audit Authority, Rob Esch, everybody that came together, and we got this thing done. It's complicated. It took a while, and longer than we all wanted, but here we are.
County Executive Anthony Picente, thanks for the time. We'll do it again. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Be safe.
Thanks. Got a break.